Hey guys, I'm Ray Gutierrez, and today we're going to work on Photoshop. What we're going to work on is on a tool called the Quick Selection tool, and also the Content Aware tool, and we're going to work a little bit on the layers and also something called Merge. So why I'm going to be using these three tools is these primarily are the three tools that are going to show you how to remove something in an image that you don't want it to be there. So I know there's some phones right now, especially Apple, that do that automatically, and I think there's other stuff that does it, but this is a lot more cleaner, and I think it will totally help you to if you work in Photoshop and you're a professional photographer, or you're just an amateur photographer, but you want to get to that level. Don't listen to me. No, just kidding. I can show you the basics right now. So, because I am not a professional photographer, but I use Photoshop all the time. And I just want to show you the basics and how to do something like that. So I'm going to switch screens and I'm going to share my Photoshop screen. So what I want to do, I love this picture. I live in Thailand half the time and half the time here. I haven't been able to go back since last year, but that's okay. Oh no, but a little longer than that. But I will go back. Anyway, this is a place in Thailand. It's called Pattaya, and I was there uh the COVID horror, and so everything was always closed, and I took a lot of beautiful images. But anyway, so here we are with the image. I want to get rid of this garbage can, and I like everything else, but I want to get rid of this garbage can and maybe this puppy here, but we'll just get rid of the garbage can for now. And it's pretty easy to do. So the very first thing we're going to do is I'm going to go on my keyboard. I'm going to say Control plus, and I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. Control plus. Oops. I think it's as big as it could go. Let me see here. Okay, it's freezing up. Why is it freezing up? That's okay. Control plus. There we go. Control plus. The reason I'm hitting Control plus is I want to zero in on that garbage can. I'm also going to use these side gray bars to adjust so I could get right into the picture that I want to grab. So I want to grab this stuff, this garbage can. I want to remove that. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to my toolbar and I'm going to grab my selection tool. When I click on my selection tool, I am going to go and I'm going to start painting this guy. And what I mean by that is I'm going to left click on my app on my mouse, and I'm going to hold down and I'm just going to drag it around this garbage can. So this garbage can is all selected. That's great. Now, what happens is you also have these different functions here. The plus is enables you to grab whatever content you want. The minus is what it does is deselects a part of the content that you didn't want. Like say, for example, I'm going to stay on plus. I'm going to grab this here. Okay, well, I don't want to grab that. I don't want to use that. That would say that was an accident. All I do is I come up here and I click on my minus tool, and now I left click hold, and now I could get rid of this piece here, which is awesome. Okay, another thing what I want to do is I'm going to zero in even closer because I want to see if there's any other details I need to take care of. So I'm going to go Control plus again, Control plus, Control plus. And when I do that, I can see, yes, it is. Right here is kind of a mess. Right here is kind of a mess. So what I'm going to do, I still have the minus brush, which is a deselect brush. I'm going to deselect this part here. Perfect. I cleaned it up a little bit. Deselect. But it's not working as well as I want it to. There's a couple of things I can do. I can make the brush a little smaller. So let's see if I could do a better job. And you know what I'm doing wrong? Is that I have my negative brush. No wonder I have my deselect brush. No wonder it's not working. I'm gonna deselect this piece though, because I don't want to grab that. And I'm gonna go up to my plus brush now, and I'm gonna grab this piece here. Okay, so this looks good. This is almost perfect. But it's almost perfect. There's also click here again. I'm gonna grab all this stuff. Looks good. There's this little piece here that I kind of want to get rid of, and I'm going to go Control plus. I don't want to get rid of this background here. Go closer so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. I don't want to get rid of this piece here. And you look at it and say, oh, that's just a small little tiny piece. But you know, in other pieces, it's going to be a lot larger, like in other images that you're editing. So I'm just going to show you how to do this. We're going to come up down here and we're going to click on this guy here. It's called the quick mask. And when I do that, now it's what it's telling me is it's going to only pull this part of the image out of the image. It's not going to pull anything else that's red. So the whole scene is red. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this up here. I'm going to paint this red. And when I paint it red, it's going to remove that. I'm going to paint this here red. I mean, it's not going to remove it. It's going to keep it. Anything that's not red, it's going to remove. So I'm going to go up here. I'm going to go to my eraser tool, and I'm just going to paint inside. And you see how it's red? It's red because it's telling me, look, I'm going to get rid of that stuff, but not this. Okay. Now, say for example, I actually went, oops, and painted over my tire. Well, it's going to get rid of that part of the tire. So all I do is I come up here, and you see how there's a white and black box? I'm just going to click on this little arrow, and I'm going to switch them. See that? Now the black's on top and the white's on the bottom. And what I can do with that is now, if I paint, left click holding down, I could select it again. I could clean it back up. So I'm good. Okay, so we're good. We have all that. Look at it. It looks really good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out of this mask. I'm just going to click one time. So it's out. Now I'm going to go Control minus. And so now you see that it's going to get rid of all the garbage can, but it's not going to get rid of this piece, or this piece. And that's pretty important because when you go to your content aware tool, it's gonna judge what it should replace in that empty section based on the content that's around it. That's why it's called content aware. Very neat, huh? So here we are. Okay, so we're good. Now I'm going to go up. You know what? Let's control minus so we can see the whole scene again. Well, part of the scene. That looks great. I love that. I'm going to go up here to now to my menu bar. Right on top, and I'm going to go to edit, and I'm going to go all the way down in this drop down menu till I see content aware fill. I'm going to click one time. When I do that, it's showing me this is how it's going to look. It looks really good. That looks great. And it says I'll put new layers. So what's going to happen is going to copy it to another layer, but I'll show you how to get rid of that. Okay, so I'm going to say I like that. That looks great. I'm going to say okay. And automatically it replaces everything, but it creates an image there because it's still kind of there. But when we merge it, it won't be. What happened is right here is that it's like painted or that it's kind of painted based on your on the content around it. It's kind of filled it up with what the content was around it to make it look like there was nothing there to begin with. And look how cool, look at that. It replaced this part and this part. That's cool. So I'm going to go up here. I'm going to go to filter. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to go select because I want to deselect it now and keep working. Deselect. Okay, it's here. Now there's a background here, and later on I'll show you how to adjust that. But for now, we'll just deal with it. It's okay. I think it's really important to kind of play around yourself with this, but also to know the basics and not get confused with what do you do? What do I do? What about? I showed you a lot already, so this is just the very basics. So I'm going to see that, okay, if I turned off this layer here, and I could turn off this layer by just hitting the eyeball, it appears. Well, it doesn't really appear because it's never really left. It was just painted over. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to um, combine these two pieces together. And this is called merging. So I'm going to merge them together because I like it. It looks cool. And I want to merge whatever it painted on top of this image to the original image. And then what you do is you just click on shift And you're gonna when you click on shift on your keyboard, you're gonna grab both of these layers and then left click and then just go down and merge layer. When you merge layers, boom, now it's there. Now it's completely over this what used to be the garbage can and it's ready to go. Now I know you're probably saying, "Oh man, I hate this." Well, in my next tutorial, I'll show you how to remove that. But for now, I just kind of want to show you the basics. Then we're going to go into a filter. We're going to put a filter on top to give this image a little more pop because it kind of looks a little kind of boring and gray. So I'm going to go control minus, control minus. And there it is. And what I'm going to do now is I am going to add another layer. I'm going to go up here, click layer, new layer, and I'm just going to call it pop. You can call it a bunch of other stuff, but I'm going to call it pop because I know what it means. Use a word that you know what it means, but I'm basically going to add now filter. You can even put filter. I'm going to cover this up since the layer's right on top of this. I'm going to cover it up with a color that I want to use. And right now, if I was to make this box around it, and that's what I'm going to create because this is right here. This is the rectangular tool. It would be black, but I want the fill to be blue. So I'm going to click on blue over here and my face right here. Blue, and let's pick a good blue. Go down here. I want it to be like a lighter blue. So I'm going to click on that. Okay, so that's the blue I want. That's a fill. It's saying stroke, an outline. Stroke is your outline. I don't want any outline on it, so I have it at 0. Now I'm going to go right to the corner. I'm going to go a little over the corner, so I make sure to grab all the part of the image. I'm going to left click, and I'm just going to drag. When I drag, you see that little blue box that's appearing because I'm holding down my left click. I'm going to click, boom. There it is. Oh no, where'd the picture go? Well, the picture's right here. I'm going to go right here and I could tell you if I turned off this eyeball, you can still see the picture. But we're going to do some fun stuff with this. But the very first thing I need to do is it's kind of like a live graphic. So, and what I mean by that is that you could do adjustments, but you can't really play around with it. We're going to play around with it now. So I'm going to go up to layer. I'm going to hit raster size. And I'm just going to say all layers. Here we are. And now now it's just like a regular box. You're ready to rock. So here we are. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to double click in here and a whole new box is going to show up. Okay, so you could add glow and stuff. You could use this. Usually these styles is better. Like if you're putting some text down and you want to add some pizzazz to it, a little glow or inner shell. But for now, we're just going to ignore this. We're going to go to the basics. We're going to go to blend modes. And you see how it says normal right here? We're going to click down and we're just going to drag, just go down to see what looks cooler on this color. You could add any color. I picked blue and I think it looks all right. And you see that? It's like this. It blends right with the background, which is kind of cool. So this looks all okay. Let's go with something. It's going to be very moody. So I'm going to go with something like, keep on going down. I'm going to pick this. No, that doesn't look good. I'm going to pick this guy, Hue. I think Hue looks good. Maybe saturation is a little better. That looks pretty funky. Let's go. Let's go. You see how beautiful the sky is? If you wanted just the sky to be blue, you would click burn color burn or any of these guys. And let's do that. Let's go color blur because that's very dramatic. And I'm going to say okay. Now I am just going to double click again. And I'm going to bring this down. Maybe right there. Now look, the colors look a lot better. They're kind of cooler. It came out really cool. I'm going to click OK. And you see that? Now, if I turn that off, that's how it looks. If I go like here, it's a little more dramatic and beautiful. So that's what you do. You could do many different colors, different filters on top, um, or you could just do one. You could even do things like, say, for example, you wanted these to pop a little bit more, or that to pop a little more. You could actually go with your eraser tool and let's make the brush a little bit bigger because it's super tiny right now. Let's make it to a 47, and you could paint, get rid of this. You're not painting, but what you are doing is you are getting rid of that blue filter. So look at that. That looks super cool. And you really got to do a good job. I'm doing a crappy job now, but I just want to show you the general idea. I do this a lot in my animation because it does make things look a little more cooler and it makes the images pop a little more. But you can see how that really stands out. You could even go to the signs and paint that out, paint that filter out. So you have the signs pop a little bit more. You could have this pop a little bit more. And then this guy pop a little bit more. And you see how that it looks, wow, it looks like God. And years ago, you couldn't do this stuff. You were like, you had to use a million different filters and stuff. I mean, not filters, but lenses. But now you could do it like that. So here we are. And you get the general idea, but there we go. So there's so many things you can do, just adding another layer and pasting another color on it, or filter. And yeah, and just going in and merging them. So there we are. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down and on my comment section, and I will see you next week. Thank you so much.